We all know that Albert Einstein was the greatest genius in history. He was so intelligent that he could outsmart thousands of scientists alone. He thought about things that we as humans cannot even fathom. And not only did he understand them, but he also made them easy for the whole world to comprehend. Albert Einstein was a physicist who, by formulating the theory of relativity, E is equal to mc squared, and the laws of the photoelectric effect, left the entire world amazed and bewildered. And as a result of his work, he was awarded the Nobel Prize. People believe that Einstein possessed a special brain with extraordinary thinking and understanding abilities that were quite different from those of normal people. Einstein himself was aware of this fact, which is why he did not want any part of his body to be researched after his death. Instead, he had instructed that his body should be cremated and the ashes should be scattered, so that nothing would remain for anyone to examine. But what Einstein feared happened. When Einstein passed away on April 18, 1955, at the Princeton Hospital, a doctor who was there to conduct an autopsy on him impulsively removed Einstein's brain to satisfy his curiosity about whether the brain of the world's greatest genius was somehow different. The person who took Einstein's brain was Dr. Thomas Harvey, who was interested in studying this special brain. When the hospital found out about Dr. Harvey's actions a few days later, he had to resign from his job. However, Dr. Harvey managed to obtain permission from Einstein's son, Hans Albert, to conduct further research on his father's brain in hopes of uncovering its secrets to the world. Today marks the beginning of a long journey. Dr. Harvey was a pathologist who only knew how to perform postmortems. It was just his idea that he could research the brain of such a great genius. The condition was that Dr. Harvey had also been dismissed from his job at Princeton Hospital and his position as a pathologist. They had already preserved Einstein's brain, and Dr. Harvey took it to the city of Philadelphia in Pennsylvania, where he took a photo of the brain and then cut it into 240 small pieces, preserving each piece in a separate jar and hiding them in his basement. This issue caused frequent arguments between Dr. Harvey and his wife, as his wife often threatened to throw Einstein's brain away. One day, their arguments became so intense that the couple had to get divorced, and Dr. Harvey went to the city of Wichita, Kansas, with Einstein's brain, where he started working as a medical supervisor in a biological testing lab. In his free time, he made efforts to study Einstein's brain extensively. After some time, he left different jobs and traveled to different cities with his brain. However, despite many years passing, Dr. Harvey was unable to conduct any significant research on Einstein's brain, and his medical license was eventually revoked. He had to start working at a plastic factory. It was then that he made a good decision to send different parts of Einstein's brain to the world's top neuropathologists for detailed research. 30 years after the theft of the brain in 1985, the first study on Einstein's brain was published. Afterward, for the next 28 years, neuropathologists from around the world published several studies on this genius brain. These studies showed that Einstein's brain was significantly different from a normal human brain. The biggest difference was found in the corpus callosum, which is part of the brain that connects the two hemispheres. It is important to know that the human brain is divided into two distinct parts. Whatever task a person performs is first processed in one part of the brain, and then the brain sends signals to the corresponding part of the body. The left brain controls the right side of the body, while the right brain controls the left side of the body. Additionally, 90% of humans use their left brain for speaking, understanding, mathematical calculations, and writing. On the other hand, the right brain is responsible for creativity, recognizing shapes, and having artistic and musical skills. Now you might be wondering, what is the role of the corpus callosum in all of this? Suppose you are typing on a keyboard or a mobile phone, during which both your hands are busy typing. Some letters are typed by your right hand, while others are typed by your left hand. During typing, if you make a mistake with your left hand, you immediately use your right hand to correct that mistake. This means that when a mistake is made by your right brain, it sends a signal to your left brain to quickly correct the mistake. The part of the brain through which both parts communicate with each other is called the corpus callosum. Einstein's corpus callosum was larger than that of a normal person. This means that there was a stronger connection between his left and right brain. This allowed Einstein to imagine complex problems and situations at the same time. In addition to having a larger corpus callosum, Einstein's brain pattern was also significantly different from that of a normal person, and researchers believe that this was due to the better flow of neurons in his brain. A good flow of neurons means that their mathematical calculation power was very strong. Albert Einstein had the ability to solve complex mathematical problems without pen and paper, solely relying on his brain. Another reason for having more neurons in the brain was also mentioned in research papers. When Einstein's brain was weighed, it was found to be 1230 grams, while a normal human brain weighs 1400 grams. Researchers believe that the lining of his brain was relatively thin, allowing more neurons to be present. However, the biggest question still remains whether Einstein was born with these special abilities, or if they developed after his birth. Upon investigation, it was found that Albert Einstein could not speak until the age of 5, whereas most children start speaking at the age of 2 or 3. Even when he started speaking, he did not enjoy it and preferred to remain lost in his own thoughts. Albert Einstein had a limited ability to memorize things, to the point that he found it difficult to remember even simple math tables. However, he was a master at processing numbers and math concepts logically, rather than relying on rote memorization. In school, he failed in every subject except math and science, in which he excelled. At the age of 12, his family's teacher forgot his geometry book at Einstein's house, and to everyone's surprise, he read the entire book and cleared his concepts in just one day. Not only that, but by the age of 14, he had become a master of integral and differential calculus. Einstein had such a strong grasp of maths and science that when he raised his hand to ask a question in class, professors would often become intimidated because Einstein's questions often surpassed their own understanding. Since childhood, Einstein wanted to express the laws of the universe in a small equation, and this became his life's purpose. At the age of 26, Einstein published 4 research papers that amazed the world, and as a result, he was awarded the Nobel Prize for his outstanding role in humanity and his PhD degree. Today, we can understand the significance of his work by realizing that science remains incomplete without his contributions. Some doctors and scientists have speculated that Einstein's brain was special due to his childhood experiences, particularly when he was unable to find answers to his questions and had to rely on his own mind to seek them out. By doing so at a young age, their brain develops accordingly. Even today, Einstein's extraordinary brain is present at the Mutter Museum in America, preserved in microscopic films with great care. I hope you found this informative video interesting.